Hey everyone, this is Casey reporting to you from Bryant Park. And this week in the Fields, we're going to be asking our fellow New Yorkers their opinions on caring for someone with a disability. So let's hear what they have to say. So being a caregiver can be really difficult. So how important do you think that it is for them to find support for themselves and for the person with a disability?
I think it's incredibly important. If you are going to support someone else fully, you have to make sure that you yourself are taken care of and supported, because it's very hard to give when you yourself need or are lacking in certain just basic care.
Find some support from the family of the person that you're caring for, because sometimes they can be the best resource, because they're kind of in the same boat as you and they care just as much about that person.
My grandmother passed away from cancer last year, so it was important, just not even for my grandmother, but for my mom, who was caring for her, to find backing from family and friends and that kind of stuff.
So being a caregiver can be really, really difficult. Takes up a lot of time. Where do you think that you could find support for someone who is a caregiver?
I think you can start within your network of people, because I feel like everybody knows somebody that needs help at some point in their lifetime.
I think the internet is actually kind of amazing right now with a lot of online support groups. I think outside meetings of caregivers do exist.
I think one of the toughest places to find support and the best place to find support is family, because family can be kind of a double-edged sword.
A person living with a disability will oftentimes look up to you or lean on you for support. So how can you act as an empowering person towards a person living with a disability?
I guess just always be positive and always kind of encourage them to overcome all the obstacles that they're faced with on a daily basis.
Really listening to the person who needs care and finding out exactly what it is that they can do.
To know that they're not alone, so that they know that they have someone, that they don't always have to rely on a caregiver, that they don't have to just rely on themselves, because in a sense they can be kind of helpless at times. So they need someone there for support, just for day-to-day stuff that regular people take for granted.
Turning it to the other side, oftentimes caregivers will experience what is called caregiver burnout, where they pay too much attention to the other person and then they forget to pay attention to themselves. So why might a caregiver neglect their own well-being, and how do you think that would impact the person that they're caring for?
Well, again, my mom, going back to her for a little bit, I think she actually was a little bit depressed after my grandmother not only passed away, but during that whole moment in her life, because it's just all the responsibility of my grandmother kind of falls on her. The person is no longer self-sufficient, no longer can work for themselves. Now you're kind of not only worrying about yourself, but about another person. Your entire mind is about two people, not one. So it can be really tough.
Because various systems in place neglect people with disabilities and assume that someone else will pick up the slack, and they do, but it is often a lot of slack for one person to pick up.
It can be super, super stressful when you're caring for another person. And you gave a couple of examples as to how they could stay healthy. Can you think of any other ways that a person or a caregiver could stay healthy, both physically and mentally?
I just think mentally, when you need a break, you have to take a break.
Make sure that that caregiver does take time out to themselves, whether it's to just sit outside, enjoy the day, or even if there's just a network of caregivers that they could reach out to.
Set up boundaries very early on in the decision to become a caregiver for someone. So if you know that you cannot do a certain thing, expressing that right from off the bat that you can't do it.
I think the best way is support from your family, because if you have support from your family, it kind of clears up a little bit of your stress. You have support and caring for that person.
So our New Yorkers had a lot of great advice and great opinions for you guys, and now it's your turn. We want to hear what you have to say about caregiving, so let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you next week.